Today we are looking into something else in collaboration with the CCS Institute, and we've been working with energy and not to mention the oil and gas industry for years, and we are also a minor part of InfraIndus that Nasser and the owners of ERPDUO are behind. And today the mood was in for looking into their CO2 or carbon capture and storage projects and facilities, and how far they are nowadays. So early development to construction and operations. Most of these projects are actually operational in the US and partly in Europe and in China and Australia, plus in construction. So maybe most projects are in a funnel of completion around 26 and 27 in Europe. So 65 operational, 42 under construction. 715 projects in pipeline. CO2 capturing capacity in a million ton. Latin America, Middle East, MENA coming up. Long-term government support. While some issues related to reliable baseload power, high quality carbon credits, including renewable credits, multilateral development bank interest in CCS could fund critical activities, momentum in equity investments and M&As could be a positive for debt financing of CCS projects. So do you know what? These sort of projects will prevail for the coming 20 and 30 years, I think. So it's still early stage. It costs much. Of course, the companies investing into it have to partake, of course, in joint venture, but they also have to dispose their own capital in hundreds of millions of dollars and euro, and then they need to actually apply for research sort of funds. 50 bilateral agreements with governments since 20, so that's okay. Establishment, clean energy mission innovation, carbon management challenge, Asia CCS network as well, and I will tell you why. And then public to private partnerships, as I mentioned. Okay, Shell, Total, Heidelberg, and there are others as well. Portos, Dutch, okay, that is a Norwegian led, and that is Dutch project, and then you have Jubail, Saudi owned. Shepherd is probably Asian, Korean, not Australian. Yeah. Cool. I've heard about Nahanra. Korean takeover Rick Solar. One gigaton of CO2. Global Carbon Management Initiative. With Paris Agreement. CCS. Stakeholder mechanism launching soon. Yeah, because here most of these vessels and so on are produced in Asia actually. And here in Europe you have much of that design and deployment or project brain work. And you have some very important partners here from Arabia to India, while all this area or the Atlantic and Indian and Arabian Sea and African Sea and down here will be very important areas in the coming decade. In America, GE Vernova is a solid stakeholder, on infrastructure. Otherwise, as I almost mentioned, when it comes to storage, gas turbines, wind turbines, electro technical power, then we have both European companies but also many Chinese and Japanese, plus US, American. Now, let's see how much the US is willing to invest in the coming 4 or 5 years. Or American companies. Direct air capture and are eligible for 60% credit capture. Other than that, are eligible for a 50% credit, and carbon transportation stored in use are eligible for a 37.5% credit. Canada Growth Fund, 15 billion public investment vehicle. Arm's length from government to attract private capital. Invest in Canadian projects and businesses. Focus areas include CCS and low carbon hydrogen. Federal entity that issues CCFDs up to 7 billion. million ton CO2 injected in 23. Okay, they've started. Yeah, so it is that injection, the technology is almost there, and all that intervention or integration, is it in tanks, is it under the seabed, and all that is still an issue to have technical decision making upon. Asia and India. India and China, of course, huge polluters, so I think they would be very interested in clean air, at least, if not clean waters. And when you have a BYD and standardized way of storing CO2, then it is more like transport and storage of not only CO2 but more like a gas project. So there are now in 2025 much experience with gas production, and I would say 50-60% of the work is gas related, gas storage and transportation. Number of transports and storage facilities in development reached 84 times a year. Breivik, that's outside Bergen or something. Yeah. West Norway. Let's check with China. CCS forging ahead in China. Green and low carbon technology demonstration program. 6 projects. Yeah, exactly. Reducing in coal emissions. Co-firing with ammonia, biomass, CCS. There will be remarkable news from China, both in terms of technical innovations and readiness for projects. And Middle East Africa, they also, Arabs and Africans are also very clever with their investments now, especially Saudis, and within 5 years we'll have incredible results by 2030. Outlook is positive for CCS. There are still challenges to overcome. Collaboration is key. Invitation to engage. So thanks for being with us today. See you soon. So welcome back. I remember that I did some research on hydrogen fuel cells. I think it was in 2014. Little document, some books at that time, all that. But now, what is interesting is that Alabama. That things were established back in 1848, but that was probably the state and township. Right. State Oil and Gas Board of Alabama, established in 45, occupied 65, almost 20 years before Norway. But this was remarkable actually, that natural resource investigation, characterization and development, fossil fuel, mineral, non-fuel, mineral, water and biological resources. So it started actually after 1900 century. Lithology. Okay. Yeah, most of us probably don't know much about geological CO2 preparations in Alabama exactly, but that is something they are presenting now. Here we can see that, in USA they have typical land-based drilling and reinjection wells. So things are not that complicated. California. California is a state that is always on fast track. Yeah, that's world's fourth largest economy almost. Or fifth. Carbon neutrality by 2024. Alright, 20 years. Going to be carbon neutral in 19 years. 95% greenhouse reduction. As I mentioned, there is there will be a lot of business around this in the coming 15 plus years. Transportation, yeah. Emissions shown after CCS in 2045. More equalized and that's good. Yeah, their plan for California. I assume that's probably next 10-20 years. Cement and concrete, chemicals and fuels. Was a bit rare to see this like that, but okay. 7 from LA to North Sacramento. CARP program. $80 million. That's almost 200 million krona. Direct and capture. Deck. And 13 in R&D. Okay, but apart from oil and gas related projects, yeah, you can understand that they don't want that much interference with oil and gas companies, but in Europe they are actually, it's not, they are called energy companies and not oil and gas companies. Low carbon fuel pathways, okay, that is ethanol and biogases, refinery investment in steam, innovative crude, yeah, coming back to oil and gas actually. DAC, direct air capture projects. From California back to hilly Denver and Colorado, just estimating a bit sort of plants, ethanol, cement, storage, gas plant, Colorado, and then Wyoming, and what is it? Ohio. From test wells to mechanical, technical, chemical test to construction and build classifications. Then we get land and site acquisition and all that for testing hydrogen production or injection. Approved finally in 25. So 25 is a typical approval year, and 2026 will be probably more of a production year, and 2027 will be full exercise and practice of projects, production projects and all that.